Good day. Stay tuned. I'm with your brother, my brother, over this beautiful fire in Pearl Street. I'm your Golden Swan, and Sean, let us continue. I'm gonna place you near, and yeah, if we could just hold this here.
No worries, man. No worries.
Because this is what the people need to hear. Oh goodness, especially from my perspective, as my battery hits 5% and my screen goes out. So we have 5% to work. Yes, it's not live streaming. This is just on record.
Oh, okay.
Actually. I'm going to post this on when I get the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Limitations Unlimited. What's your excuse that you act by? So you want to get talking about this and to go from there? So get it back in?
I guess we were just talking about how it's incredibly important for us to realize that I think we've lost this. We've lost the ability to be able to really speak to each other about tough issues without having this overwhelming sense to shut people down who we don't agree with technically. And I just think that we really need to get back to the idea of A, community, and B, methods in which to discuss really hard issues to be able to formulate a complete perspective.
Yes, and the completion of the perspective holistically serving the function is what we were going back and forth on, and this is what I will meet you, my audience, to on 5% of my battery. So this right here, this in the middle of beautiful Pearl Street, to my knowledge, as I sat down to connect and make communion, that this is only going to be here for 2 more weeks because of what is a lack of someone has to monitor?
Yeah, there's monitoring, and I guess the folks that do monitor it are only here on the weekends, so it's not even on during the week.
This isn't even on during the week. So this is where art can be more than just an appeasement to the eyes. It can actually also serve a function to the perfection of artistry made. So we can get into UFOs and how perfect the geometry of those art pieces function in the lattice work of the structure of existence, and that there actually is a structure to existence. But what I'm saying is, to the function of perfect art, and that the vibration that the shape holds holistically as shape made, to the function of this fire not simply being an art piece on the weekend, to the idea that someone has to monitor what art is serving a purpose, this art piece functioning.
Well, and I think also going to your point on an even more of a like a societal level as we see it today, something as simple as this being here has brought together 2 individuals that probably never would have met before ever, and has sparked an interest in a conversation that may be looked at as quote unquote controversial today. And I think that having these centers of community that can spark those kind of conversations is incredibly important, especially in a day where we find ourselves incredibly divided as a nation.
And in the premise of credibility, in the act, incredible. Coming together over this fire, because I know what cold is, and I feel cold. And so, to the point that my brother, your family, forgotten, unless you yourself know what remembrance is as a feeling, and what you feel when you're remembered. That when we came together, I'm on my way to Starbucks, because as you all know, I'm on 5% of battery as I record this. So I will continue on my way to Starbucks, but to the point this brought me together to make this video in this moment, for I like warmth as well. And I know that if anything during the weekday, that all of us that are out here, these meek, that's another story right there. But I know what I'm doing, and I walk with my many. And I know they know beyond belief that they are knowing. So if anything were to happen as we're all gathered around here, you will know, go all in as you bet, that there will be quite the alert that something's happening on Pearl Street, and it's going to be happening from where the fire's, like I said, weekend monitoring. How's about get to know your neighbor? Because they listen when you're arguing. Talk about monitoring. Full senses.
Right.
Eyes and ears open.
And if I were to have any parting words, I would just say, to piggyback off what my friend here is saying is, have the hard conversations, listen to the folks that that you disagree with, because sunlight is the best disinfectant, and the only way to get a full perspective on the world and to be able to magnify the lens to which you see the world is by listening to all points of view. So embrace free speech, embrace listening intently, and speaking in a manner that is not offensive, but still tackles the tough issues that we find ourselves so divided on today.
I agree. Speak fully, and do not speak as if you've been pacified, compromised, subdued. Your voice is sound, and you authorize yourself and govern yourself and empower yourself. And sometimes these clowns on YouTube, they're just like, fuck you, and then you get a kick out of that. What about sincerity in a so serious and heavy world? And all of us speak. I'm your golden swan, pure my graces, delivering myself to you in the comprehension of my vocabulary, the language you practice as English. This is my brother Sean.
Yep.
And we part with you in this moment. Peace out. And become your believer.
Right on.